Previously on TN Tactical.
Go, you gotta save the world!
A hopeless future. Lost to the Orange Crush Overlord, Gordon Lightfoot, long ally to TN Tactical, made his final stand. He eventually fell to the Overlord. Trapped in 2050, TN Tactical was stranded all alone. A new ally was needed. From a different timeline.
Tahmin et sen öldün. Karın var mı? Lojmanda mı kalıyor?
Understood, boss.
Lojmanda çok fazla tutmayacaklar. Öldün! Kızmayın ona. Kızmayacaksınız. Kendinize kızın. Burası bir birlik. Bireysel hareket edemezsin.
We'll get him home, I promise.
Arkadaşın için hareket edeceksin. Uyusun diye uyumayacaksın. Ölmesin diye öleceksin.
Task Force 69 will bring him back.
Uyurken ölmeyeceksin öyle. Uyursan ölürsün.
It's okay, boss.
Ölürsünüz. Sen uyursan ölürsün.
Mission objective is clear. Yes, sir.
Sen uyursan ölürsün. Sen de ölürsün, sen de ölürsün. Uyursanız at subayı.
We'll find Task Force 420 and bring them back.
Uyursan ölürsün.
We'll save the future together.
Sen uyursan herkes ölür.
And with that final statement, VA Tactical's commanding officer gave him a Turkish pistol, primitive enough to not disrupt the original timeline with its technology. The Canik TP9SA, a second-generation full-size handgun created early on by Turkish military scientists. Although quickly outdone by later models, the TP9SA was an example of reverse engineering and improvement over competing rivals at the time. Now with this pistol, VA Tactical went forward to save a timeline different from his own.
I like it. What's up, guys? This is Jake at TN Tactical coming at you with another video, and today we are doing another gun review. Today we are looking at the Canik TP9SA. Now, this is a gun that you actually may not be able to really readily find at most retailers. That's because they've actually stopped making this particular handgun model. It was more or less replaced in 2018 by the TP9SA Mod 2, version 2, something like that. Now, I bought this one back in 2015, I want to say, and it has been an awesome pistol for competition, as well as just kind of plinking around, having a good time. It is a full-size polymer frame pistol. It's really great for training. It's really good, like I said, for competition. It takes 18 plus 1, and it is chambered in 9mm, hence the TP9.
I reckon we can get a good angle on them chickens, get some footage like that.
So this is actually imported in by Century Arms, as you can see right there, real quickly, just so you can see. We checked it earlier, but, you know.
Where's the numbers? Show me numbers.
Show me the numbers.
What do you mean?
Show me the numbers. Where's Century Arms on?
Oh, it's on the other side.
Oh, show me that. Oh.
So let's talk real quickly about the history of Canik. Started an import agreement with Century Arms back in 2012. Their very first model Canik was more or less just like a clone of a Walther, and maybe a Walther PDP. I can't quite remember exactly which model Walther. They got a lot of feedback from their customer base, and they listened, and they came out with this baby right here around 2015. They made a lot of improvements. They really helped get the grip a little bit better. They made it a little bit more unique, and they really started to step away from the Walther design they originally used. Now, again, this particular model was eventually updated and released as like a generation 2. It's very similar, except for one major difference, and it's a criticism I have with this gun today. The original Canik pistol that came out in 2012, the one that was based off the Walther design, was a double action and single action. After making the improvements that people requested from their original design, they decided to go to a single action design. Now, the benefit of a single action design is that it's going to have a much lighter trigger pull because it's already cocked back and you're not actually using the trigger to do any of that motion. One more. I like it. I like it a lot. So the weird thing about this pistol is that it has a decocker and it is a single action. So we're unloaded here. The reason why this pistol got updated is because you pull the slide back and then you have the option to decock it. So if I press down on this black part up here, it'll actually decock it and the trigger is a dead trigger now. So check this out. Like I said, single action, right? There's one in the chamber for sure. Okay? Watch, there's one in the chamber right there. See that? I actually just had a malfunction. That's probably on me because it's so freaking cold outside. Let's try that again one more time. So here it is. Okay, let me show you how this decocker works. So right now, we've got one in the chamber. We just cycled it. But if I hit this right here, decock it, even though there's one in the chamber, it's not going to go off. Okay, even though there is one in the chamber. See that? If I tried to conceal carry this and I got in a panic and I grabbed it and I accidentally pressed that somehow, then I'd kind of be in a bad spot if there was someone trying to like rob me or do some kind of bodily harm to me. Very strange decision there because again, it's a single action and not a double action. It took them a couple years to get it out the door, but they quickly came out with a second version of this pistol that removed that decocker feature. We don't have one here today, but it's still single action and everything else is more or less exactly the same. Why would you want that feature if you were to ever use this for like a home defense or a concealed carry or something like that? An additional step to the manual of arms, for this particular pistol that could cause issues under a stressful situation. That's why you're not going to really see too many of these unless you go on some websites like Gunbroker. Let's talk about the trigger real quick. Like I said, it's single action. So the great thing about that is it takes a lot of the pressure of pulling that striker back off of the trigger itself. It's roughly about 4.5 pound trigger squeeze. And let's kind of do a demonstration like we usually do here. So you start here. Very light, that's the safety. You pull, nothing here yet, very loosey-goosey. You hit a slight wall right there. Very slight, it just gets a little stiffer, but then right there is where the trigger pull is. We're going to reset right there, and then you pull right there again. There's not really any extra travel there when it resets. There's a little over travel after the trigger goes off, but reset and immediately right there. So it's pretty awesome. I really like that. And that's just the unique thing that you get with single action triggers like this, much like 1911's and other pistols designed similarly as that. Makes for a much lighter trigger pull than what you get in like something like a Glock or a SIG or something like that as well. So you do have a 3-dot sight here. The rear sight is adjustable for windage. You have a Picatinny rail section here as well, so you can mount a light or a laser or something like that. The pistol itself comes with extra back strap plates. Right now this is the smallest one they have that comes on by default. Take down the pistol is very similar to how you would take down the Glock pistol, so you just grab it right here. Okay, just pull back a little bit, pull down on that tab there. And it actually just comes out just like that. You can see it's a little dirty. We've already been doing some shooting. But then you got your spring, you got your barrel, and all that stuff for a quick, if you need to clean real quick, you can just do that real quick. Very similar, exactly like a Glock. And a lot of the TP9 pistols are like this as well. Even the layer ones have come out. Okay, we'll just go, so you just go from the back right here. And then just to put it back on, and then you're good to go. So this pistol comes in flat dark earth, but it also comes in a solid black as well. It's got a little bit of decent texturing here on the grips, as well as up here, almost like a sort of like a gas pedal. Overall, it could be better. A lot of people are probably going to say that the grip texture is not enough, and they're going to probably want to put like a rubber sleeve that Hogue makes, or maybe get some Talon grip tape as well. Something just to kind of compensate for that, because it's okay, decent grip, but it's not as good as it could be. Let's talk about the holster.
Let's talk about it. This
So,
one?
yeah, Canik, this particular TP9SA model came with this holster here, and it's kind of a weird design. It's retained in there, it's not going anywhere, but you have to press this trigger, and let me tell you why this is kind of a concern. You press the trigger, and then you pull the gun out. Look where my finger is at currently, already on the safety of the trigger, pulling on it. So under a stressful situation, you might accidentally pull the trigger itself. So that's a huge concern that a lot of people have. Canik did eventually update their design so that it doesn't have that risk factor involved. They went with a model that had a button a little bit differently made, so you don't have your finger around the trigger. Later, they came out with a model most recently that it's just a holster that it just retains the pistol. There's no like button or switch or something at the press. So much better design, actually. Now, when I first bought this, I think the MSRP was around $375 or $400. Again, that was 2015. And that was prior to this newer model coming out that got rid of that decocker. I was able to buy it though for around $320, so I think you'd be able to get the updated version of this for roughly about the same price, maybe around $350. With the pandemic and stuff, it might be closer to $400. It's still reasonably priced, and it would make for a great competition or carry without that decocker. So just think about that when you're shopping around for pistols.
Guys, that's going to wrap it up for this video today. If you enjoy this kind of content, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment down below. Do you ever get a chance to shoot one of these Canik pistols? I'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next time.